Hey, hello everyone, I'm David Guerrero and welcome back to another video here on Many Ways Films. In the video of today, I'm gonna be talking about the Nikon F100. This is a camera that I used a lot when, like on my first month of using it. I'm still using it. I'm actually gonna be shooting a lot with it tomorrow. It's gonna be the All-Star weekend tomorrow. Well, it's already today, Friday, All-Star weekend here in Salt Lake City, Utah. Well, I'm not in Salt Lake, but here in Utah. And I'm gonna be there and I'm gonna be shooting with the F100. So hopefully I can get some artistic pictures. It's supposed to be crowded and busy, so I think that's gonna make for some interesting pictures. But in the video of today, I want to talk about this camera right here, the F100. Oh man, I love this camera. So in the video of today, I'm just gonna be talking good things about this camera. There's nothing I don't like. Sure, there could be things that you can complain about this camera, but in my time, well, it's already been what, a month and a half using this camera, and I've shot about 8 rolls of film, but I've only developed two of them, and I've sent 2 more, and I have some more in my fridge. I actually have like 7 rolls of film that I need to take to develop, and I'm gonna go buy some film and take those tomorrow. But you're not gonna be the All-Star weekend pictures for this video because I'm probably gonna be editing this very soon. But anyway, this camera, the F100, it's a really good camera. In my experience, I've been shooting film, I don't know exactly for how long. It's been a few months. I actually started since like 2019 or 2020, but I didn't really like do it, like go get film, like have developing my film at the photo lab, and that's what I've been doing lately a lot. And honestly, I mean, I've talked about it in other videos. I love film. I think it's photography itself. It's one of the greatest forms of art there are, but I feel like film elevates that just a notch, and it makes photography just about 25, maybe for some others, but a 50% even more fun than just doing digital photography. So what I love the most on this camera is the fact that it has a great metering system. It uses the matrix metering system. It also has I think it's just like I don't know the names, but it has 3, and the one that I use the most, and the reason this camera was, and it's still popular today, is because of matrix metering, which even cameras like this, the C6 II, a mirrorless 2021 or 2020, yeah, it's like a 2021 camera, still does matrix metering, probably in a more advanced way, but this camera doesn't fall much behind when it comes to metering. It does a really good job, and you're gonna see it in the pictures that, well, you're looking at right now. All of the pictures, I'd say 9 out of 10 pictures, I don't want to say the word perfectly because there's no such thing in, well, you could say there is, but if you ask one photographer and then another, they're gonna tell you that perfect is depending on what you're trying to do. So I don't even think that a picture that is like has a lot of detail in the shadows, but then like not much detail in the highlights, or all the detail in the highlights but not in the shadows, or it's just like perfectly metered in between highlights and shadows, it's a perfect picture. I think it's up to preference. That can be debated. It's just my opinion, but what I'm trying to say is that this camera is gonna do a really good job at metering at anything you want. You can choose to have like your meter focus at like the center, like get the best exposure on the center of the frame, or meter the whole frame of your picture and try to find the most balanced exposure for the whole setting. And then there's another one that I think it's just in between those two, but matrix, it's really great. One of the reasons that I got this camera, I love to manually exposure too. It doesn't mean that I don't appreciate it or I don't think it's fun or anything like that. I think there's time for all types of cameras. I mean, it's film, so I feel like I still have a lot of freedom when it comes to my exposure settings and what I want to do with this camera. This camera is not doing all of the job. A lot of it, when it comes to photography, is composition and the eye that you have for the subject that you're trying to photograph. And this camera is just a great tool. One, like probably the second thing that I really like about this camera is loading the film. We all know that most rolls of film are either 27 or 36 exposures, but I'm not gonna lie, I've been able to get 37 and a half exposures with this camera. You can probably not count the half, the last half, but 37 exposures all of the time when I load the film. I'm getting an extra picture every single time I load a roll of film, and not a half frame on the 37, a full complete 37 picture every time I load the film on this camera. And I'm gonna show you in another video how I do that, because I don't have any film to load right now. I'm gonna show you some videos that I have right here when loading some film on this camera. When I was recording me loading the film, it wasn't for the purpose of this video, so it's not gonna be like the best footage for showing you how I did it. But in the end, yeah, 37 exposures guaranteed if you load the film properly in this camera. That's great. I know that you can do that with a lot of SLRs, but since this camera forwards the film for you, and then right here on this part of the camera, it tells you if the camera is ready and if the film is ready to be shot, and that's very, very, very useful. It's just no mistakes when loading film with this camera. And the third thing is that I was able to use a variety of lenses with this camera. You're able to use, I think, most of the F-mount lineup for this camera. This is the 70 to 210 millimeter lens, and it just focuses really, really good. I want you to listen. This is just the lens, but let's see. We're gonna focus. We're gonna focus over there. So yeah, autofocus is really good. Some lenses are gonna focus better than others, as expected. But yeah, the focus system on this camera is really good. It's actually surprisingly good. Like it's pretty good. Even at low light situations, it's still pretty good. I'm not gonna say it's perfect. Not gonna say that it's 10 out of 10, but I would say it's a good 7.5, 8, maybe 7.5 out of 10. Good autofocus. You have to remember, it's an SLR. I think they stopped making these ones in like 2004, 2006, something like that. So, and it's like a camera that was designed on the 90s, late 90s. So really, really nice camera. Another really nice feature that I like is like the viewfinder. I love when DSLRs have that round viewfinder. I think the C9 has the round viewfinder. The C9, it's a Nikon mirrorless camera, and it's, I think, the only one that has that round viewfinder from the mirrorless lineup. And DSLRs have that type of round viewfinder. Someone told me a long time ago that it has to do that, like if it was a pro body, it will have the round viewfinder, but if it didn't, it wouldn't. I don't know if it's true or not, but I found out to be pretty much accurate. And this feel, and I believe it's a prosumer body, but it just feels like a pro camera. The weight of the body is heavy. This is, like everybody says, it's just a tank. Yeah, loading the film in this camera is easy, has great autofocus, great metering system, really nice body design. I'm looking at the camera over here, but yeah, and I got it with the grip, so you can take pictures. Let's see. So yeah, since it's film, I don't think there's any buffer on this camera. Why would there be one? But yeah, I don't recommend doing that with film. Film, it's pretty expensive. One of the reasons I haven't sent all of my film that I shoot all at once. But if you are interested in this camera, if you have put your eye on the F100, I'm gonna tell you, I don't regret it. I cannot tell you that you will not regret it, but it's a great camera. I love it. I've seen Nikon F5 before. I've held it with my hands. I've seen them, and this camera is really close to the F5. So if you're looking for a cheaper alternative that is gonna give you pretty much the same results, I think the F100 is the camera to go. But yeah, again, great camera. If you are searching for a camera that, you know, has a great metering system and autofocus capabilities, this is one that I would encourage you to consider. But there's also other great cameras like the F5 or the F6 if you can find any. That's it for the video of today. If you have any questions about this camera or anything else, please let me know. I would really appreciate it for you subscribing to my channel, and I will see you in the next video. See ya.